Yo guys, welcome back to the Random Disclaimer Show. This is episode number 6 today. We're still on it. We're rolling out 2 every week. We're gonna keep dedicated. Today I'm here with the homie Tyler as usual, you know.
Yo.
And our special guest today is the good old friend Seth. How you been doing, bro?
What's up? Not bad, man. How you been?
Good, just, staying in our little hometown, doing not a damn thing.
Yeah. Good old Parkersburg, man. What's there not to like about it?
Meth heads, poverty. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, are you not in Parkersburg, Seth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what have you been doing, bro? You finished it? You still in
Oh,
school and
dude.
everything?
Yeah, the fall semester just started. I'm in my junior year now. WV made the decision to go mostly online this semester. I think they have only have 30% of classes in person. I only have one class in person, which kind of sucks. So I'm trying to teach myself 5 different classes right now.
So what are you?
Yeah, that online stuff's gotta be tough.
So are you staying in
Dude,
Morgantown?
this semester's kicking my ass, man. Yeah.
Okay, you're in Morgantown. Cool. How's it like up there with COVID?
Yeah.
Is everything going back to normal?
I just moved in. Me and my roommates. Our lease started in July, but I didn't move in until a couple weeks into like halfway through August. And when I first came up here, it was, I would say, roughly 60-40 on people wearing masks versus people not wearing them.
Yeah.
But thankfully, everybody's kind of getting better at wearing them.
It hasn't gotten too bad up there, has it? Like a bunch of kids.
I mean, they had. I know over the summer, they had when they first opened the bars back up, there was a huge outbreak, and then they closed the bars back down, and they all kind of went down. But then students came back to campus, so the numbers haven't been like crazy high, but they're still not good.
I think my brother had a middle school football game today, and they're canceled because I guess one of the middle schools got exposed again. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know there's 2 cases at South right now.
That's insane. I don't understand.
Crazy,
so
man.
are they? I wonder if the school loses money if they make it completely online.
Universities,
Just
or,
normal
like,
schools, I guess.
public
'Cause I know.
schools? I have no idea. I know they gave at least at South, because my sister goes there. She's a freshman. They gave the students, I think, iPads, and then of course they have all the online stuff they're doing.
That's
on
like,
but,
is it? But it's still like you go 2 days a week. Like I don't know why they wouldn't just do completely online. Like just give up on trying to.
I know they gave the option of you can either go fully in person, 2 days a week, and the rest online, or fully online.
They gave that option to high schoolers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
Okay.
good to hear. That's why I was kind of concerned.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
it's gonna
know.
keep popping up. So why just get rid of it?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I personally think it's not exactly the best choice to be bringing not only college students back to campus, but to be putting high schoolers and middle schoolers and elementary schools back in these schools.
And it's not really
I guess that's why I'm not the one making the decisions.
Yeah,
I guess
it's not even an issue for like the college students and high schoolers. More so for their family that they have to go home to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
professors
exactly.
in college, they're all old as shit probably. So they're probably the most concerning. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was in one of my online classes yesterday, and one of the guys in the class was saying that he's finishing his 3rd quarantine since he's been up here, since his semester started, and
Wow,
2
That
of
would be
them
so depressing.
were from going to his. Yeah, he said 2 of them were from going to his only in-person class because I guess someone tested positive for COVID in his class twice, so he had to quarantine for 14 days both times.
I don't know. They're working
Wow.
on it, but I don't see it becoming a thing until like next fall time. Because it takes a
Absolutely
long
not.
time to figure out like the right vaccine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not too bad up here. They just reopened the bars. I think Tuesday night.
Oh, cool.
Or
So at
Monday
least so
night. I
people
don't
can
know.
get out a little bit. at your own risk. I feel like that's the best option right
Yeah.
now. Is make everything open
Yeah,
at your own
'cause, I
risk
mean-
because it's hard on your mental health just sitting in
Oh,
quarantine.
absolutely. Yeah, of course, obviously, I'm not personally gonna go out and do something like that. I mean, of course, I'm not even 21, so I can't really go to bars anyway. But I personally wouldn't do something like that to go out and risk my own health. But I mean, who am I to stop other people or to try to stop other people from doing what they want to do?
For sure,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Have we heard anything about Halloween? Is it canceled?
Dude, I have no idea.
Shit, when I became an adult, and I'm just like, fuck it.
I
I don't want to pay attention to it.
It's like, dude, I have no idea. I think my sister said something this past weekend about them doing it in
I
Parkersburg.
think they should.
But again, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what they're doing up here or anything
I
or
feel like
anywhere else.
Halloween's one of the safest things. Like, as long as like kids are all reaching into the same bucket of candy, like doing the thing where like they open up their bag and you drop it in at your house.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's still coming into not necessarily necessary contact with people, but yeah, I think what you said, just kind of opening your bag or having your bucket,
Yeah.
whatever, and letting the person drop it in.
And most parents are safe and will do like the wipe down, like wet wipes or something like that.
Yeah.
What was that? Just
Yeah.
like how? So for your photography business, that's probably, is it not doing too good right now? It's probably hard.
I don't really have like an exactly business quote unquote,
yeah.
but yeah, I definitely really haven't been having people reach out for shoots. I mean, I didn't really have that many before the pandemic started, but definitely less than I did.
You were doing a good bit though.
Of course, since
more
I've been
than I would ever do. I
Do
said you
what?
were doing a good bit though before the quarantining.
Yeah, I was doing a decent bit. I was mostly just getting out with some friends and just hanging around, just shooting. But yeah, it's been rough, man.
So what are you going to school for?
So my major is sports and adventure media. My emphasis is on sports. It's mainly it's sort of it's kind of hard to explain. It's really the only kind of program in the entire country of its kind. But it's basically, best way I could explain it would be sort of journalism and just like general media and just learning how to apply it in like sports.
Oh, okay.
And it's a joint major with the College of Physical Activity and Sports Sciences. So I'm also taking sports marketing classes, sports sociology, psychology, stuff like that.
So pretty much like
it's really fun.
You'll be able to apply for like ESPN and write articles.
Yeah,
for them.
one of the classes I'm in right now is video storytelling, and my professor, he actually helped start ESPNU, and he still does a lot of stuff with ESPN. So one of the biggest things about the Reed College up here at WVU is that we work a lot with ESPN directly, so it helps out a lot.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. So, what sports are you into?
Of course, growing up, I didn't necessarily watch a whole ton of sports, besides the obvious like football.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But recently, and even really in high school, I didn't watch that much. I mean, I watched football, a little bit of basketball and baseball, but lately I've been getting into soccer more recently because I've been shooting a lot of photos for soccer over the past year, and I'm starting to see more of a rise in popularity for soccer in the U.S.
Oh, definitely.
But,
I do a little.
And a slept-on sport is cricket, man. Dude, I don't know
Cricket's
what's going
entertaining.
on. I don't know what's going on at all. I just know there's a dude at one end slapping a ball with a stick, and it's absolutely electric.
So what is it kind of like? Is it like a baseball type of sport?
Sort of, kind of.
Like,
Yeah, best way I can really explain it is just a dude at one end throwing the ball, and another dude at the other end slapping it with a stick, and everybody's going wild. So
everyone's just losing their minds.
everyone's just losing their minds, man. It's crazy. But
Trying to brag a little bit. How do you feel about Marshall being ranked higher than WVU?
Uh,
I'm just
man.
kidding.
All I have to say is we smacked Eastern Kentucky by a lot more than you did.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Honestly, it's the most shocking. When I seen Marshall at 25, like I literally almost pooped myself.
God, that's the first time Marshall's been ranked in how long?
Forever. It's been like 20 years.
Probably since they first joined Conference USA. Man.
Yeah, literally, just about. Yeah, honestly, you might be right. I don't know. I know, that's the only reason I brought up sports. I just wanted to brag a little bit because I know you're a big West Virginia fan.
No, man, Marshall's looking pretty good this year.
Of course, this is the one year that we don't have season tickets. We decided not to get them because of
COVID. Yeah. They actually our game against Kansas this week is the first time we're gonna have fans in this stand, besides family and friends of the players.
You're going in.
So. I actually didn't get a ticket. They sent out a thing on Monday for students to request tickets, and I requested it like as soon as I got the email, and I got an email like Tuesday night saying I didn't get one, which is crazy because I've been to literally every single football game and every basketball game that I've requested tickets to over the past 2 years. But
yeah,
oh well. I honestly didn't really plan on going. I was just gonna sell my ticket to someone who's willing to pay for it. So
I'll bet you they're high value.
I knew. I was just like, no.
I saw somebody trying to sell this for like 55 yesterday. I'm like, God damn.
Nice little money.
That's high.
I mean, it's just like a student ticket, so it's not like a good seat or anything. But
okay, I got you.
Yeah, since it's a student ticket, you have to like have your ID, or else like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how they do the student ticketing here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can see how that's a little high then.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch over a little bit. Did you get a chance to register to vote?
Oh yeah, I've been actually registered. I think I've been registered since the day I went to go like renew my license when I first turned 18. Yeah, man, I've been registered. I'm planning on going back to Parkersburg on election day and voting because I don't necessarily trust mail-in ballots. Not this election, at least.
Yeah, it's a little weird right now. So
yeah, I'm not taking that risk.
What is it looking like for you?
Are
you liking the Trump train or?
I don't like either.
Oh yeah, of course. I expected that.
Literally, literally. I mean,
that's
this was
the
any other election.
only smart decision.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If this were any other election, I'd definitely vote third party.
That's what I'm doing.
But yeah, I think this election is way too important to kind of.
I was thinking
like
you're right.
I personally think we should go away from the two-party political system.
Absolutely.
But because it doesn't give
just not this year
voices to people. Yeah,
it's outdated.
It's way outdated. It just doesn't give voices to people who aren't running as either Democrat or Republican.
We went over it on episode 3, I think, with my friend Eric, and he said they need 5% of the public vote to get funding for debates and all that.
I don't think debates should just be.
I don't know why
Democrat
it is
Republican.
that.
I think they should have the Green Party, Libertarian, and whatever the other major third parties.
Well, that's what he's saying. I'm pretty sure.
We just need 5%, and then
if you get 5% of the public vote, then they'll get public funding and have a representation.
It's like a wonderful thing, but I don't think it's the right time. Like it is the right time, but not for this certain election.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think that's a big thing in this election is that people want to vote third party, but they understand just how important this election is.
I despise Trump and Biden, but I have to go with the lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
that's how it works. I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I dislike both very much, but it's like I said, this election determines way more than just the next 4 years. So
definitely. So
elaborate for the viewers. Elaborate what you mean by that.
Like because everything with who's the SCOTUS nomination, Amy Coney Barrett. I can never remember her middle name, but
Kamala Harris.
No, the SCOTUS nomination. It's Amy Barrett. I think it's
Oh,
Coney.
okay, I got you.
But like she's gonna be in the Supreme Court until pretty much either she dies or she resigns, as we saw with RBG. But and that's how most Supreme Court justices are. But not only just the Supreme Court, but definitely like the Senate and the House. So this election definitely determines a lot more than just who the president and vice president is for the next 4 to possibly 8 years.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a very good thing to think about. We tried to promote third-party voting on episode 3, but I'm kind of taking a step back from that because I'm realizing that it's more important to get those positions filled.
Well, I mean, I don't think we meant as much as in this election as much as just in general.
That's what I'm trying to make it known.
Like third-party voting is not a waste.
Like 100% after this 4 years, regardless of if it's Biden or Trump or whoever's up next year, after this 4 years, I'm going to go third party and just vote
absolutely.
off of
I'm not there with you, man.
But this is like the most intense.
It's too far.
It's
too
the most
late.
intense.
Yeah.
It's like almost the most intense election there has been since we've been alive, at least.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And we thought 2016 was bad. I mean, I don't think anybody imagined that the past 4 years were going to be like as bad as they were when we were voting in 2016. Well, not us, but as a country.
Can I just say that I'm still sad about Bernie? I'm sorry for interrupting.
Me too.
Honestly,
man.
Still sad about Bernie.
I'm upset that the DNC never took Bernie seriously, man.
Yeah. And I'm sad about Andrew Yang, too.
I was going to say, I'm more sad about Andrew Yang. That was my number one guy.
Man. I hope Andrew Yang runs for Senate, because I really like it.
If there was a way for me to cheat on voting, I would vote for him like 1,000 times.
If there's only a way to bring back one of the candidates that like fell out, like I really feel like they'd have like a real good shot of just overthrowing everybody, because like that would be the perfect third choice that we need.
It goes to show that a lot of people on the left and right side that are very extreme in their politics don't give third parties a chance, because Andrew Yang is a supporter for both sides. Like, he's not completely democratic policies.
Yeah, Andrew Yang. I personally would describe Andrew Yang as forward instead of left to right.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of like
very good.
A cliche thing to say, but like, yeah, Andrew Yang is definitely.
He cares about what's coming up.
Good sign.
Like, he was trying to push for. He wanted to redo all the tax brackets and all that, and take more money from companies.
My biggest. Absolutely. My biggest thing with Andrew Yang was the UBI, and I think a lot of people are realizing just how important that is, and like how I wouldn't really necessarily say.
Do you want to say what UBI is for everyone, just in case?
How many universal basic income? So pretty much, the government would give you X amount of dollars per month, and Andrew Yang's was, what was it, 1,000? I think his was
depending
1,000.
on your family size.
And I think
it's depending on your family size, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was dependent on family size, but like the general term that he was kind of pushing it off of was $1,000. But I think the pandemic has kind of helped people see how big of a factor UBI can play when it comes to the economy.
It would be.
So I think it'll be interesting to see how
putting that into motion would be like us coming out of the Great Depression. Like, I think it would push our economy to an insane level.
Yeah, I mean, look at what
science proof. There was like, it's on his Instagram, one of his little like, you can pick one of his stories. There was like a whole like scientific study on like what would happen, or I guess more like mathematic study of the numbers, what would happen if we pushed this money into American families, and it was just outstanding.
Yeah, man. Big fan of Andrew Yang. I think, like I said, the pandemic and how much people want another stimulus bill to pass. I think it's helped a lot of people see,
and a lot of,
again, not necessarily the importance, but how big of a role UBI can play in not only the economy but the general well-being of the people.
For anyone that's like, I'm gonna say mostly Republican view, getting the UBI would push more money into our economy, because if you give people more money, they can invest, they can put it into a business where they can't afford it now. It's just a lot of different things that would secure a lot of futures.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, because let's say you have somebody who's making, I don't know, let's say roughly, I don't know, maybe like $50,000, and if they're getting that extra $1,200 a month from the government, that's not 1,200, 1,000. That's $12,000 that they're getting every year. Of course, whether or not to take taxes out on it, that's an extra $12,000 that you can, like you said, invest into companies, invest into smaller businesses, startups, local businesses, and that's going to do wonders for the economy. If you want to
look deeper into it, past the economy, it would help mental health, it would help depression, it would help suicide, because people have that trust, like their comfort that they need. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing.
No,
and
absolutely.
I think
they're not worried about where their next dollar is going to be,
because they have a little, so they can take more risk. And I think America needs a little more risk, like not in a bad way, but in a way
I agree with you, man.
Make or break type of situation. Like, you might do this and it might be wonderful, but guess what? If you mess up, you still can fall back on a pillow and not fucking nails.
Oh, absolutely. The majority American right now lives for Friday. I mean, they live for the weekend because of the workday. Like, that's just, it's not how it should be. Like, life shouldn't be.
I feel like
waiting for the weekend.
We would be way high. I feel like we'd be farther. Like, our civilization would just move faster if everyone had that comfort zone that they can lean on. I think Alaska already does this. Like, they pay their citizens monthly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. Maybe they got rid of it.
Yeah, they do.
At one point, they were paying like $700 a month or something like that. And they were like, stores were popping up everywhere. These little villages of 100 people grew to like 600 because they can afford to have families and afford to install gas furnaces and stuff like that. It shows. I think that's he was basing a lot of his push for that from Alaska and how good it did.
Yeah, man, the data and science definitely support it, but
data doesn't lie.
No, it doesn't, man. But good luck getting any American law or bill passed based solely upon science.
It might just be my personal opinion, but it's kind of weird how it's not okay to change laws, like from fucking 400 years ago or whatever. Like, is it not okay to look at these laws or these, I don't know, just like what we live by, and like, oh, that was made from our founding fathers. Why is it not okay to update that? That's like us.
I mean, some of our founding fathers didn't want it to be like this, to where it was set in stone. But
why is the Constitution set in stone?
Otherwise,
that's like us. It's like buying
crazy.
An iPhone 3 and still having it today.
It's so crazy how like the current state of like the U.S. in terms of like government and politics is like exactly what the founding fathers didn't want. Like, we hardly update laws and regulations, and it's definitely the way that this country was set up was supposed to be like constantly changing and updating.
Adapting,
So constantly. I wonder, like, I need to look into like why we're so against that as a whole.
Because it's just, I mean, the people in power, like, they have power. They don't want, the addiction to power is real in the world. Once you have power, I mean, you're going to maintain it as long as you can.
I don't smoke weed, but it's kind of insane to think, like, not just thinking about my life, but just thinking about, like, today's just, like, the whole world in general, how we don't have completely legalized marijuana.
Dude,
like, the money from that is outstanding, and I just don't know where's the bag.
All you have to do, just legalize it, tax it, and just watch the revenue come in. I
Mexico
literally
just passed theirs.
I literally keep saying,
Mexico, they just passed their laws. It's completely legal there, and they're predicted to be like the world's top marijuana distributor. Not like they already weren't, but now it's just legal.
Yeah, I've been saying that literally if the state of West Virginia legalized both medicinal and recreational marijuana, and we just put a tax on it, even if it's just small, dude, we could literally be like the Colorado of the East.
Little heroin problem, shoink,
Yeah,
disappears.
seriously, man. Because the thing with drugs is that they're so, like, obviously they're deadly because of the stuff that's in them, but because you can't regulate what's in them, so nobody knows what they're actually buying. Like, you can go buy like a gram or two of weed, and then you're actually getting like K2 or something. I mean, obviously very different, but still, I mean, you don't know what you're buying.
Yeah, for the normal person that's not a heavy weed smoker, it's very easy to mistake. It's weird. I don't understand how it's not passed yet.
So it's actually a study done. I'm sure you guys definitely know by now, and most of the viewers know that West Virginia, Parkersburg in particular, is a really bad heroin
number
place
one
in the country.
last year.
Huntington, well, Huntington's actually number one, but Parkersburg is pretty bad too.
Yeah, Parkersburg's bad.
But there's actually a study done, and it basically goes. You can look it up on YouTube. I believe they made a video about it. Basically, kind of talking about. I actually believe Joe Rogan spoke about it. The fact that heroin addiction doesn't really come from like somebody being addicted to heroin really necessarily. It comes from them being unhappy with the place that they are in life, like with their environment and habit.
There's West Virginia has an issue with opioids as well. A lot of heroin addictions come from our easy access.
Well, no, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with that. I
was just throwing that in there.
There's a lot of doctors and things that'll prescribe like a lot of pills to get people addicted and then cut them off. Then they have to go to the street to get whatever they can because they're in so bad withdrawals they can't function. And I mean, that's a very big case that definitely happens. But I don't know. I think that the other thing plays a very, very big part in it too. The fact that they're just not happy with, I mean, just their situation and like where they're at. So they have to numb themselves and the way they feel with drugs.
West Virginia
is either heroin
just
or meth.
like a very inconvenient place because what has been happening over the last 12 years is they've been closing down coal industries. West Virginia, people don't know, literally used to run completely off of coal. Like that was our
100%.
And now that's
coal
getting
capital.
that's gone.
Part of our
And now
state's
plants
history.
are shutting down because there's big cities pushing out way cheaper stuff. Like you take away a lot of the income, then no one can afford to put new businesses there or new activities. And if you do, they always close down because no one has that type of money to go spend and do that kind of stuff. I was going to speak on this. So in 11th grade, I broke my hand in half, and I had to end up having surgery for it. And the doctor gave me hydrocodone 30s for a month, and I stopped taking them like halfway through the month, and ended up just throwing them away. And then I went back the second month, and he gave me another prescription for 30 of them. And then,
you're lucky.
Well, I ended up literally throwing them away because literally it made me feel like I was not a human. But the third month I went back, he just said, "Let me know if you need another prescription." And I think that needs some light on it. Like that should not be happening. I shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, man. When sophomore year in high school, when I got in a pretty bad accident playing football, I literally almost became addicted to literally my painkillers. Like I literally just had to stop taking them and threw them away.
Like halfway through.
And whenever I would go to the,
of course, that's exactly how I was feeling.
Halfway through the bottle.
I was waking up in the morning and like before I brush my teeth, before I hop in the shower or anything, I'm looking straight for my pill bottle. And that was after only like 20 days in. So I stopped taking them, and then 3 months later, he's still offering them to me. That needs, like, I think that should not be allowed, and that's an issue.
Yeah, that's crazy, really.
Just because I was a sports guy, like I was just playing football, so I was at a sports pediatric unit or whatever. So like, they were like, "Oh yeah, you're a football player. You can have as much as you want." No, bro.
Yeah, that is not. Wow. I had a gallbladder surgery to get my gallbladder removed, and I got one bottle of hydrocodone 30s, I believe. There was like probably 20 to 30 pills in there, like a supply for like a week, I think. And I remember I took them, and when they were gone, I was like, damn, I'm gonna ask him for another one. Like, it's like I was addicted for sure. Like, I mean, those things had me floating. And I mean, I smoke
and us
weed a
three
lot,
just
obviously,
happen to be more stronger than
that
some
and
people. That's
that.
the only scenario that's
Oh,
playing
yeah.
out, that we happen to have a little bit more strength and be like, hey, what's going on here?
Thankfully, my doctor didn't. I mean, I asked them, and they just kind of didn't really.
Yeah, that's good. That's what should happen.
So,
I was
yeah,
shocked when he kept
that's
offering
exactly
them to me. I'm like, you're going to literally get me hooked on this shit. So I just kept throwing them away.
Yeah, dude, I literally, I can't even remember like who my doctor even was. Like, dude, the concussion I got from that was literally miserable. It lasted for months. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just awful, man. It's so crazy how like I was literally so close to getting addicted to it. And it's not like I was doing anything crazy. I was just literally taking what was prescribed to me. And that's how those addictions start.
Literally. The what you feel like, it depends. When I didn't eat on them and I took one, I would feel like a fucking zombie. Like, I remember riding to school on the bus, and I'd like, when the bus turned, like, I would literally fall over in my seat because I was just so slumped. But like, when I ate on them, like, I felt like Superman. Like, I was like, if someone beat the fuck out of me right now, I would scream. I would jump up and scream like, "Come on, let's go again!" Like, it just gets rid of like, and that it's weird because it works for physical and mental. So if you're mentally stressed and you take an opioid, it's like not there. You're just like, almost like it's not happy, but it's like not even close to sad. You're just like kind of like
you're just literally
in a
like
gray
a zombie.
zone. Yeah. I don't know. It's very bad.
The gray zone feels really nice, though. It's very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Well, usually, if you stick in the gray zone, there's probably an addiction involved. There's probably something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. What do you guys?
A little bit of a somber note there.
Otherwise, I guess we can stay in kind of the drugs category since we're already there. What do you guys think about psychedelics being used for treating things like depression and anxiety?
I'm strongly for it.
I personally have never used them. I know people who have, and they said it really helped with like the anxiety that they were dealing with that day, all the stressors that they had. It just kind of made them forget about it. And from all the studies that I've seen, I'm for it, man. I mean, if it works, why not use it?
More
Again,
so, I mean, more so for like long term, like you said,
Microdosing.
like this anxiety of that day.
Right.
But I mean, like more long term, kind of like
I think
you know what I'm
I think
saying?
microdosing mushroom tea could literally be an antidepressant. I'm strongly experienced in the mushroom category.
I absolutely agree.
And I promise it's bigger than just one day type of thing. If you're doing them more than just like a kind of fun activity. I did them for like 2 weeks straight, and I was feeling like I was understanding myself more. Like I feel like psychedelics allow you to like click the edit button on your brain a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I personally have never used them, but again, I think it all just comes down to if you legalize it, you can regulate what's in them. So
Exactly.
people know what they're getting and they're being safe about it. Then yeah, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for
I like this guy. I like this guy.
Science proves. Whatever science says works, man. Just do it.
I want to step back real quick onto opioids again. I forgot to mention this. I think we should fund more of those clinics that allow you to bring in your heroin or meth and have it cleaned and tested. And I feel like there's certain cities that give you like their little like health packets, and like they come with like your alcohol wipes, your clean needles. We cannot get rid of heroin, but we can sure the fuck help with the overdoses and the dying.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You can't get rid of it, but you can definitely make it safer. I'm a big fan of the needle exchange programs, and again, like you said, like the handing out the bags with the wipes.
Every city's health department should
stuff.
have that. It should have a fund for that.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
100%.
But yeah, moving back to psychedelics, I just wanted to shed some light on that because I hope that becomes a normal thing. Like, people are like, "Oh, you're just saying people that use heroin should use it all the time." Like, they're going to anyways. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
man. They're gonna get it and do it no matter what. We can at least make it safe for them and
yeah.
cleaner, so that way they don't have to worry about getting
Yeah,
Hep
that's
C
another issue
because
with
they had to
that. Like
reuse the same needle
hepatitis,
for a week and a half.
the percentage of hepatitis
Yeah, man,
between heroin users, oh my, it's out of the world. It's scary. It's like
crazy.
COVID almost.
AIDS, anything. Yeah, all types of bloodborne diseases. There's countless.
Crazy, man.
Is
Literally.
wild.
Yeah. So for psychedelics, I haven't tried anything other than mushrooms. So I don't know what ones do you think, Tyler, would be good for long-term microdosing?
I don't. I've never really. I mean, I've experienced maybe slightly with microdosing, but I was just kind of talking more for just like use, I guess. Like maybe, or it's going crazy on me. Um, just talking maybe for like occasional use. I myself I've done LSD before, and I've done mushrooms before. Um, I think I think if you use LSD as a tool as it's meant to be used, I think it can play a big role in maybe like how you think about certain things. You can change that,
Yeah.
change the way that you think about certain things. Um, like I would give the credit to LSD for the reason that I like music so much, and I've kind of like decided that that's my calling. Kind of. I mean, it basically just helps you contemplate everything and just kind of just think about everything. Kind of just really the best way to explain it. Kind of just really just everything in your life. You'll just kind of analyze it and be able to step back and look at it as if maybe you were somebody else and didn't have all the baggage connected to your psyche. So you can kind of just look at something and really see it for what it is instead of feeling emotional about it like you would if you were thinking about it from normal perspective. So it's kind of crazy. It kind of sounds wild, but very good tool to shift your perspective and maybe think about things a different way than you are,
I don't
stuck
think it's
doing.
very crazy,
Also,
honestly.
well, yeah, I'm just saying for some people, maybe it sounds kind of like outside of the box or whatever. But another thing LSD has been used for and countless other psychedelics is breaking addiction. So
Mhm.
actually, LSD trips have helped countless alcoholics actually break their addiction to alcohol due to just the experience that they can have on LSD just being so powerful and profound that they just get the, ability and confidence to decide that they don't want to, bow down to alcohol anymore in their life, which
Yeah,
is really great.
there's actually rehab rehabilitation clinics like solely based off of microdosing psychedelics. Like that's like a medical thing they study there.
Definitely.
Um,
I would not doubt it.
and I think
But
you're very right for
go
saying
ahead.
that it's a tool because looking outside of just fixing like mental health issues, like it like some of them are very good. Like there's UFC fighters that have started microdosing mushrooms because it helps them with their passion. Like it's literally a tool to help them perform better. It's like it's not a steroid; it just helps them process every little detail way better. So it's kind of in the middle right now. There's been UFC fighters that have tested this out and like it's working wonderful, but the UFC is not sure. Like, can we let this be a normal thing to where fighters are microdosing before fights? And like just off of experience, I've taken mushrooms and I've done training. Your hits net, like it's just like it's literally a tool. Like you're almost like in a different.
No, it's definitely it gives you a hyper awareness.
Your awareness is out of this world when you're on them. Yeah, microdosing. I don't know. I'm not saying like eat a whole fucking eighth of mushrooms. You're probably not going to be very aware of what's.
No, you'll definitely be very aware.
Yeah,
definitely.
out of your head. Aware.
Be aware, yeah. But yeah, so if you're, I'm not condoning psychedelic use or anything like that, but nudge nudge, if you are depressed or something like that and really don't care about life anymore. Well, before you do something crazy or you can't get help or anything like that, your last resort, maybe try one of those and listen to some of your favorite music. I don't know. Maybe it will help you through
play out with
time.
the
I
buddy
don't know.
system too. If you're going to try
Once again,
LSD,
absolutely.
you should.
Don't do it alone, 100%. Do not do it alone. Do it with somebody that you can trust, and don't do it with somebody that acts like they're your friend.
Yeah.
Do not do it with somebody that don't do it with somebody that you don't trust with your life, to be honest. Like, you want the person that you're intoxicated with to care about you as much as they care about themselves, to a point to where something happens, you trust that you trust what they would do in the situation.
Yeah.
So
That's all I gotta say.
I
Not
mean,
saying that you can't take
anything,
psychedelics
yeah.
by yourself, but if you're trying them, it's always good.
For the first
That's-
time,
it's a very
definitely
good,
not,
like,
yeah.
baseline to have is like what happens when you're with someone.
Definitely.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be pushed forward in the future because I think we're realizing that antidepressants are fucking whack. Like, they never work, barely. I'm not saying never. I'm not trying to bash people that are taking them because I've taken them, and they have fucked up my whole like existence.
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're necessary, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I definitely hope to see more studies done on psychedelics and like their long-term effects in terms of microdosing and how they help deal with anxiety and depression long term.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there'll be
No, there's already
starting to be
places
normalized.
overseas that this is like a normal thing. Like, and they're like the percentages are out of the roof on how much they've helped. Of course, you're going to get a little bit more of like people taking too much, so now they're at the hospital thinking they're about to fall out of the earth or something. But that's just with anything. Alcohol, you can drink too much alcohol, but it's legal.
Yeah.
The only thing difference is
Absolutely.
psychedelics cannot physically kill you.
Yeah,
There's been no recorded deaths from just use of psychedelics. Absolutely. There's no overdoses, anything like that. I mean, it depends on the psychedelic, but if we're talking about LSD and mushrooms,
it will not kill you. It might strain your brain a little bit, but no death is involved. No physical.
And if you're gonna try psychedelic for the first time, I would recommend trying mushrooms for the first time, due to basically a mushroom trip's gonna last 4 to 6 hours. LSD trip's gonna last 12 hours at least. So if you don't have 12 hours to just be very high out of your mind and contemplating stuff, then
Definitely.
I would probably go with
And
mushrooms. And I'm not saying that
if you're a little skeptical as a person, mushrooms are way more trusted. Like, I'm not saying it's always the case where LSD is the drug being laced, but you're going to find it way more in that industry like that.
I do want to state another thing. Yeah, absolutely. Good point, Gavin. Great point. If you decide that you want to take a substance like that, I just want you to hear me right now. Please buy a test kit. Please buy a test kit. You can go online and you can buy a test kit, a drug test kit, for less than $1, I think. It's less than $5. You can buy a test kit, have it mailed to your house anonymously. It's not something that even if your parents would, obviously you shouldn't be doing it. I guess if you live with your parents, so I'm not condoning that, but it's that non-conspicuous, I guess. So if you have somebody else checking your mail, your significant other, your fiance, whatever, hopefully you're discussing your psychedelic use with them before you do something like that. But if not, anyway, you can get the test kit in the mail, and basically what you do is just rip off a piece of the tab or candy, sugar cube, whatever you get the LSD on. You rip off a piece of it, put it in the test tube, drop a couple drops of the chemical. If it turns a certain color, you're good. If not, it's something else. And basically, it's this stuff called 25-NBOME. It's a chemical that mimics LSD. LSD stands for lysergic acid diethylamide. So it's like a big chemical. You have to get like synthesize it with a certain way with ergot, etc. Anyway, long story short, people like to find cheaper ways of doing things and trying to sell them as the original way, as we see with weed, all types of drugs, designer clothes, etc., etc. People just try to, undercut the main thing and sell it for the same thing. So they try to do the same thing with LSD, and they basically drop this research chemical is what it is. It's not known. It's just a chemical that somebody made in a lab somewhere, and they just started using it one day. But it basically mimics an LSD trip, but it doesn't exactly feel the same. People say it feels kind of cheap, or I don't know, not the same experience. But basically, a lot of people have died from it. It causes seizures and foaming at the mouth, etc., etc. So definitely not something you want to play with. So if you do plan on doing something like that, I would definitely educate yourself on it and read up on this stuff before you just go around doing it, because there's a lot of things that go into it, and there's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of different outcomes. So definitely recommend to educate yourself before you try any substance or any drug. Go read about it and make sure you know what you're doing, because
and
life is precious. So
if you're thinking it might be a hassle, it's serious when it comes to the use of any type of substance. Like
Exactly.
It's okay. You should definitely I would not view it as a hassle. More of just take 5 minutes if you're going to do this and read an article. And that test kit, it's I think it's $3, and it ships in 1 to 2 days, so you're not waiting forever. Maybe with COVID it might be 5 days. I don't know, so I can't say that. But it's just not it's not a hard thing to get done.
If you can't read about it and educate yourself,
shouldn't
then
do it,
don't do
definitely.
it. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to touch up on the whole psychedelic thing. Definitely, I do want to put a full random disclaimer. If you're thinking about using these substances, I've said this many times before. If you're thinking about using these things, take all these things into consideration. And I just want you to understand that I did say it could help depression and anxiety, but it could also make those things 100 times worse or 50 times worse. It could definitely do the exact opposite. The thing about psychedelics is it's really a gamble. You never know what kind of experience you're going to have. And if you go into this experience when you're feeling very depressed or anxious, it's not a time that you want to do these substances, because they're very, they amplify what you're feeling. So if you feel an emotion, it's going to be amplified by however many times, however high you are. So basically, if you feel very anxious or very depressed, sometimes that can translate into a very, very agitated and unwanted state. You're not going to feel comfortable. You're not going to feel cool at all. It's not going to be a good time really at all. I've had some of the
for LSD.
Definitely 100%. That's why I said if you're thinking about doing something, I definitely recommend mushrooms, because kind of a stepping ladder up, and LSD is definitely the 20-foot ladder on the house roof type deal. So and if you take an LSD, you definitely know what I mean by that. It's just very intense, which I think has its place, but if you're a new user, maybe not as desired. But so I've had some of the best experiences in my life on LSD. I've also had some of the worst and wildest experiences, because it's just, if you go into a trip and you're feeling a certain way, you're not ready, it's going to smack you in the face for thinking that you can just treat it like a drug, a party drug that you can just do on the weekends. It's not a drug. It's an experience. LSD is a tool. I really believe personally it's a spiritual tool. I think psychedelics are spiritual tools, but it's not just a drug that you just do to get high and have fun. It can be. It's fun at certain times, but you shouldn't take the drug to have a good time and have fun. That's not what it's for. It's to understand more about yourself. So if you're gonna take a substance and you're anxious or depressed and you're trying to work through that state, when you take the substance, you're not just gonna just do nothing while you're on it. You're gonna try to work through the problems. I mean, that's gonna be scary. It's gonna be very uncomfortable to do. But that's the thing about psychedelics. Sometimes they put you in very, very uncomfortable situations, and you can kind of see what you would do in the extreme situations and react. And it makes you a stronger person for it because you understand more about yourself.
100%.
I wanted to touch up on that. Just put that random disclaimer in there. If you're thinking about taking something, just take all these things into account.
Be aware.
It's not some miracle thing. There's good and bad to everything. Exactly.
Going into mushrooms, you can have bad experiences, but it's more common when you take a bunch. Like if you're doing
Definitely.
small amounts, that's like the chances of you having a bad experience are very, very low.
Another thing is you probably don't want to smoke, especially if it's your first time. If you smoke,
Well, just mixing.
I know people smoke
anything.
cigarettes, but weed definitely, can blow things out of proportion.
No, nicotine works the same way. It can affect because it's still a chemical.
Yeah, I didn't know. I hear some people will like chain smoke cigarettes and things, and I didn't know if that like calmed them or what. But
yeah, nicotine
I
is
personally don't
definitely
smoke tobacco
a
or
calm
anything.
thing
So.
when you're doing psychedelics, but in a sense, it's everyone's.
see that.
It's the same with everything. Like some people are allergic to peanut butter. Weird comparison to drugs, but like some people are allergic to it. So the same sense, like some people completely just can't do this, and that's normal. Like it'd be weird if everyone could just take mushrooms and be happy. That's not a thing that could. That's
Definitely,
not a possibility. The chances of that are not even existing.
Definitely. Before you do it, weigh the pros and cons of doing it. What could happen, and 100% set and setting. If you're not in a good place to do it, don't do it. If you're not in a good headspace to do it, don't do it, man. Or girl, don't do it. It's gonna be bad in the end. I'm telling you. I warn you. If you treat it like some party drug, like alcohol, it's not.
I think most trusted.
It is not that. It will smack you.
Most trusted place would probably be nature.
Absolutely, I recommend highly.
Yeah,
highly
like
recommend.
you can do mushrooms in your house, but you just have to make sure you're not sitting in darkness and like no sound or anything. If you're doing it in your house, you need to be listening music, be around people that are drinking a couple beers and cracking jokes and stuff like that. That's okay. But I've taken mushrooms before in just the pitch black, and it's not like I didn't have a bad experience, but I didn't get what I wanted out of it. Like I was just like, just like, bro, what am I doing?
Definitely. I would caution just definitely know who you're around. Definitely if people are drinking, that's not a problem, but don't just go around random people that are drinking. Definitely know if you want your friends, your true friends around you, because if these people are cracking jokes trying to make you feel like, oh, he's looping out, dude. He's going wacko. It's really gonna set you off. It's really gonna make you feel
those aren't your real friends.
Embarrassed, uncomfortable. Exactly.
If they're trying to intense your experience in any negative way, they're not truly your friends because they don't understand. Maybe they might be your true friends, but they're ignorant for not understanding the power.
Definitely. Some people just don't understand it. Like I've seen on Twitter, there was this thing going around where like some dude was like high on either like mushrooms or acid or something. And one of his friends texted him like a picture of like, he was like, I'm on mushrooms right now or something. Text me something happy, bro, or something. Cause I guess he was like having a difficult time. And bro sent him a picture of a demon and like some like weird ass writing and stuff. And it's just like that is an example of like I don't know. Some people would say this is extreme, but that dude would be written off my list for life. Like, absolutely. You just don't get it. I mean, I guess the lack of experience could, explain that to a sense, but that's not a joke. Like that thing, that could like really mess with somebody's
I've seen
head.
it. He was being very serious in the text. Like he was saying that it wasn't going so well. Like, I would understand if you just text like some person and you're like, yo, send me a funny meme, I'm tripping, or something like that, and they joke around, like, show something scary. That's different from like, he was literally asking for help.
Like, he must have did it for like Twitter likes or clout or whatever, but that right there, not cool. And like, it's not cool at all. Like, that is like, honestly, to me, I mean, I guess I consider myself somewhat of a psycho, not anymore, but in the past, I definitely did my fair share of some psychedelics, and that is like trying my life. I mean, to be honest, like, that's what it feels like at that point, because it's just like that could set somebody off like so easily. Like, I mean, I've had a bad trip before where I thought I was stuck in a parallel universe, like, and that sounds insane, but I was absolutely 100% in absolute sureness I was in a parallel universe. 100%.
Another random disclaimer: you were using a large amount.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just saying, if you're doing like a half a tab, you're not going to go to a different dimension. I promise.
Exactly. But no, it wasn't like I teleported to a different dimension. It's just my thought process was so warped that I couldn't. I don't know. It was weird. Like, my friends were acting kind of weird, I guess, like somewhat weird to me, and that just instantly made me think it was like everything was different. And that's what I'm saying. Like, these things can shift your perspective so much that you think this is that, and down is up and up is down. It really can. So don't do this stuff. Don't go to school and do this stuff. Don't do this and that. Like, do this at your home when you have spare time, when nobody's gonna bother you, etc. Like, you need to do this in your own personal time and make sure you're in the right state of mind and you have the right setting, because this stuff is no joke. These things are called psychedelic drugs, but they're psychedelic experiences, and they can really alter your life.
And again,
I'm not
LSD weighs
saying this
more
lightly.
on your state of mind, way more than mushrooms. If you're
Long term, I would say,
you're feeling a little down, and you take a trip to like a park or some nature trail or something, and you take some mushrooms with a friend, you're probably going to be okay. I've done it several times. I wouldn't just be bullshitting you. Like, there've been moments where I'm just like, I'm done with today. Taken like 4 mushrooms and I've been completely okay, and that's happened multiple times.
And we're not condoning that you do this, but if you're having problems that we speak about, I mean, this is just a podcast. We're just talking. We're just friends talking. Random disclaimer: we're not experts on any of the things that we talk about.
Nothing we talk about.
However,
we're not trained in anything we talk about.
However, we're not going to try to tell you ill information. We're definitely coming at you as a friend, as we would as a friend, but we can be wrong. So research this stuff yourself, educate yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, we should probably move on from chemicals and drugs.
Definitely. Good
again,
segment.
Right before we talk about something else, what Tyler said, just be aware of the good and the bad. It's very simple. That's with everything. You can drive your car, but there is chances that you can have an accident and stuff like that. That's almost how I look at the use of psychedelics. Like, there's a chance that something could happen, so I always have someone around that's not taking them. Not saying you have to, but I just in case. I'm just a safe person. I prefer to have someone that's like just down to earth at that point.
100% trip sitter.
That's like, I think even if you look it up, like every single page that talks about psychedelics, like rule number 1 is a trip sitter. And if 100%. You're experienced, you're saying I never do that. Well, that's because you've done it several times. All right, moving on. I want to talk about gaming a little bit. So Seth, you were saying that you're getting into Among Us.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, my roommate from last year went to basic training back in January, and around like March or April, it was like kind of early into sort of the pandemic and quarantining here in the U.S. And they gave him his phone, and he texted me. He's like, "Yo, let's play this game called Among Us," and he had me download it. And and we hopped on Discord with a few of our other friends, and we were playing it. And I hadn't really played it up until like maybe last month, a few weeks ago, and I've been starting to play it a lot more now with a few of my friends that I met on Twitter that are also photographers and
We're
stuff.
gonna have to play together.
And we all just hop on a Discord, just playing,
yeah,
man.
we'll definitely have to do that.
Hell
soon.
yeah, just let me know, man.
Um,
Dude, that's
if
fun.
you don't know, they got rid of their project to make Among Us 2. Did you see that?
Really?
Now they're working on fixing the first one and creating new maps.
Oh, they
and
need to work
stuff.
on fixing those
Yeah,
servers.
well, they weren't expecting. They released like a whole like
Yeah.
article like explaining like they only had like 10 people working on the game because it wasn't very popular, and then all of a sudden there's millions.
Yeah, I know.
of
It's just a
people.
little third-party game. Yeah, dude, it's crazy because literally, I had seen a few of the Among Us memes, and then because like also at the time was the Fall Guy memes, and me and a few of my friends, we went camping a few weeks ago, and we didn't have cell service the whole weekend, and we like came back, and like I just literally everywhere I looked, it was just literally all Among Us memes, and so I re-downloaded the game and I've been playing it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games this year. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I don't really like playing by myself. It's a game that's much better if you're playing
That's what
with
we
friends,
needed.
or
100%.
We needed
even
that
if
type
you're
of game.
even if you're just playing with. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing by yourself is it's not really fun because I don't know. I just don't think it's as fun
No,
as
of
when
course,
you're
it's
able
definitely
to
not.
talk with your friends and then kind of talk about what you guys are seeing as it's happening instead of having to wait until someone calls a meeting or finds a dead body to type it out in the
Definitely.
chats.
Definitely.
So leading off of that, I want to say that we're going to put our Discord link down in the bio of this video on our YouTube page, and I'll go ahead and post it on our, the Random Disclaimer Twitter page too. And if you are looking for a group to play with, just join and send a message in one of the chats. And
Absolutely.
we're going to do that for pretty much all games. So it's not just like an Among Us thing. We're talking about making a Minecraft server and stuff like that currently. And we'll open it up to the public and let you guys join in the Discord and just be a part of this thing that we're creating.
Y'all go down there and click that link. Come on in. Let's go. Get it.
Join the Christian Minecraft server.
Yo, those things are weird. I don't know. There's a couple streamers like Professor Witness, I think, something like that. He's a Twitch streamer, but he's like a preacher too, so he preaches while he plays the games.
Oh, really?
Listen,
I think I've seen that. I think
Fuck Dr. Witness.
Homie said that.
Fuck
Did
Dr.
you-
Witness.
did you see
Oh,
what he
God.
said?
We smoking Dr. Witness or pack over here.
I swear. You see what he
Swear
said
to
about
God.
Juice WRLD?
What did he say about Jews?
Fucking
He was
straight
calling
talking
him a
shit,
fucking
bro.
junkie, and then like kids looking to him as a disgrace to humankind because he was just
People
a
shouldn't look up
pillhead.
to him.
Come on.
Yo,
Come on.
I typed a tweet out saying like if I ever see him in public, I'm busting his face open, and Twitter literally banned me for a week. Like,
Jeez.
There's another one where another pastor type dude made videos about it, and he kind of just like talked shit on him and was kind of
it's
just
disgusting.
like basically saying how it was bullshit. But I don't know, bro. I don't even know how I feel about it because bro is now releasing merch like with him and Juice on it and shit, and it's just like now you're just making money off Juice's
my
name.
God.
So it's
See,
just
that's
like,
even
bro,
more disrespect.
milking
I hate that. Even that's the
Yeah,
next level of
that's even
hatred
more
I have towards them.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should have just left
But
it at
Dr. Witness
you
or
should've
whatever
just
his
left it
name
after whatever
is,
he said.
I just want to let this know. If we ever get like known, I'm not cool with you, and we'll have issues till the day I die. I stand on that.
Fuck Dr. Witness.
If
bro.
I had the power,
I ain't forgiving you, bro. Ain't no forgiveness here, bro. Fuck out
you
of here
could
with
pay
that
me
shit.
$10 million,
All my
and I
homies
still
saying.
would have smoke with you. I would have a big issue, and
Yeah.
if I ever seen you in public, I would let you know what's up. I'm not gonna. I
Busting
think
noggin.
this video might get struck if I go into detail. So I'm just saying, if I see you, it's gonna be an issue.
Definitely get age restricted, but busting the noggin, Dr. Witness, or you better fucking just stay home, bro.
Literally.
Oh God.
Busting some kneecaps.
If a random disclaimer gets big, stay home, bro. That's not a threat. That is absolutely not a threat. That
That's
is
a
just
promise.
us letting
That's a
him know that he may
guaranteed
slip
promise.
and fall and bust his noggin, possibly.
If I had the power to cancel you, I would make your life a hell. Because that's the most disrespectful thing you could possibly do as a human.
Disgrace
Yeah.
somebody
I don't
that's
think
dead.
he understands
awful.
that
And
literally
then
kids
make
are
merch
alive
with him.
today. Teenagers are alive today
Because of him.
juice, and you're just playing him off like a pill junkie. It's literally, it makes my, like, I feel my blood boiling in my veins right now. I don't know.
Same thing with Jimmy, bro.
Sure,
Jimi
that's
Hendrix.
just it.
Like, people think that he just was some druggy overdose dude or druggy dude that just overdosed and stuff. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was murdered by his manager or by somebody that his manager set to murder him. And you can read about it or, you know, go into all the evidence. that there is
Eventually,
about it,
one
but
day we're going to go
was
in.
murdered.
We're going to have a whole topic on Jimi Hendrix, just not this episode. It'll probably just be a me and Sadler type of episode where we go in on detail of that. Because that's a very interesting thing to talk about, I think.
Sad thing.
Very sad.
Rest in peace, Hendrix. Greatest guitarist of all
No
time.
one will ever be better than him. There's no comparison on that. I mean,
Push the
there's
envelope.
I forget who.
There's people that are technically better than Hendrix, yes, but at Hendrix's time in history, he was the most innovative guitarist of all time. He is the one that took people dancing on a stage behind I can't remember what the guy's Little Richard type of music, where the Chitlin circuit, where people were just doing little shows like that, where the guitarist was just back in the choir, back in the back, didn't matter. He changed what it meant to be a
Brought him
guitarist.
to the front
Yes,
of the stage.
Eric Clapton was doing the same thing. Yeah, Eric Clapton was doing it. You know, you could argue in England, but Jimi Hendrix was feared by Eric Clapton. You can watch the interviews about it. Jimi Hendrix was a force of nature.
Because
He was
but it's deeper than saying
something else.
It's deeper than saying that technically people are better than him, because you're saying people are better than him in a sense of actual guitar notes and stuff like that. He did not.
Speed playing, yeah.
The notes.
I don't
and
mean
stuff,
that they had a different.
like his
Go ahead.
play style wasn't even in a guitar book. Like there's no way to compare. Like if you learn like a guitar lesson, there's no like form of his notes and stuff that he was playing or whatever it's called. I'm not super into guitar, so I don't know the technical terms.
I mean, people have broken it down, but there's nobody can play like him. Nobody has played like him since, and I don't think anybody will play like him. Again, it's if you watch him live, it's something else. Man was something else, a god, something of some kind. He allowed me to give my life meaning, which sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, his dedication to music taught me dedication, and
Been following
trying
ever
to
since.
do the same type of thing.
Yeah. I think for the most part, this is going to wrap up this episode. Seth, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man, not really.
All right, that's pretty much it for the day, guys. Once again, in the description, we'll have our Discord link. Please join it if you can. We'd love to have more people in there. We're going to try to grow a little community, more into gaming and stuff like that.
There's also little topic ideas for the podcast here. You guys can drop an idea in the Discord whenever you join. That would be great. We can have some more ideas to talk about. I think the episode today was pretty good. We had some pretty decent discussions about some somewhat, different subjects. I don't think people talk about every day. So
very
hopefully some of y'all will find it
relevant
interesting.
stuff.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely relevant.
What'd you say?
definitely.
I said absolutely relevant.
Once again, free smoke to Dr. Witness.
Witnesser.
Don't even care about your name.
All my homies say Dr. Witnesser.
Yeah, all my homies. All right, that's it, guys. I hope everyone has a good night.
Thanks y'all for watching again. We'll see y'all in the next episode.
Peace out, boys.
Episode number 7. Peace.
Alex Real made this.
Hey, Sadler.